Have you ever wondered why native speakers sound so natural and confident at work, even when they're talking fast? Today, we're going to show you exactly how they speak, what phrases they use, and how you can sound just like them without studying complicated grammar.
Yes, you're going to hear real workplace English the way people actually use it, not the textbook version. Let's get started.
So, Leo, when people talk about workplace English, they usually imagine very formal conversations. But honestly, most workplace English is not formal at all.
Right. People think it's all about big business words, but native speakers actually use simple, clear, friendly phrases. It's more relaxed than students expect.
Exactly. For example, instead of saying, "I require assistance," native speakers just say, "Hey, can you help me with this?" Very natural, very easy.
Or instead of, "I will contact you later regarding this matter," they just say, "I'll get back to you later." Short and simple.
Let's help learners understand the tone. Workplace English is polite, but not stiff. It's friendly, but not too casual. It's a balance.
Yes, and tone matters more than vocabulary. You can use basic words, but if your tone is warm and calm, you will sound natural.
Let's show a small example. I'll give you a formal sentence, and you give the native style version.
Okay, let's do it.
I would like to inform you that the meeting will begin shortly.
A native speaker would say, "Just a heads up, the meeting's starting soon."
Perfect. Here's another one. Please provide me with an update.
A native speaker says, "Any update on this?"
See? Much simpler. And not rude at all. Still polite.
Yeah, and the key is using small, softening words like just, quick, a bit, maybe. These make your sentence friendly.
Let's give examples. Can you explain this? Becomes, can you just explain this real quick?
Or, "I need your help" becomes, "I just need your help with something." Those tiny words change the tone.
Another big part of workplace English is teamwork language. Native speakers use phrases that show cooperation, not orders.
Yes, instead of saying, "Do this," people say, "Could you take care of this?" Or, "Can you handle this when you get a chance?"
I love when you get a chance. It's polite, flexible, and respectful of someone's time.
And it works in almost any situation. Email, meetings, quick chats, anything.
Speaking of meetings, learners often feel scared about speaking in meetings, but native speakers don't always speak perfectly there either. They use fillers and simple sentences.
Exactly. They say things like, "Yeah, so basically," or "I think what we're trying to say is," or "Let me just clarify." It's very natural.
Let's demonstrate a mini meeting moment. I'll say something that sounds like a native speaker in a meeting.
Go for it.
Yeah, so just to make sure we're on the same page, we need the report by Friday, right?
That's perfect. Simple vocabulary, but sounds exactly like real office English. Now I'll go. I'll take care of the first part, and if you can handle the second part, that'd be great.
Nice example. And notice something. We both used team-focused expressions. We, on the same page, take care of.
Yes, and these phrases make you sound professional without sounding too formal.
Let's show how native speakers give opinions. They don't say, "in my opinion." They usually soften their thoughts.
Right, they say, "I feel like," "I'm thinking maybe we," "What if we," "I'm not sure, but." These phrases make conversations smoother.
Let's practice. Leo, what do you think about adding a new idea to the project?
"I'm thinking maybe we could try a different design." That's exactly how native speakers sound.
Great example, and it's friendly, open, and very natural.
Another common workplace phrase is "no worries." Native speakers say this constantly. If someone apologizes for a small mistake, they respond with "no worries" or "all good."
Yes, instead of a long, formal message like, "it is acceptable and there is no issue," they simply say, "no worries, it's fine."
Workplace English is full of these tiny, warm phrases that make everything smoother.
Another one is "sounds good." People use it all day. It means, "yes, I agree."
Or "works for me," another friendly way to say yes.
And "I'm on it" means "I will do it now."
Exactly. These phrases are short but powerful.
Let's move into the kind of small talk native speakers use at work. This is something learners always ask about. They want to know what people talk about in the office besides work.
Yes, and the truth is, small talk at work is super simple. It's not deep or complicated. It's usually short, friendly, and about easy topics.
Like asking how someone's morning is going, or talking about the weather, or saying something simple like, "Hope your day's going well."
Or even something as basic as, "How's everything?" It sounds really natural, and you don't need a long answer. Just something like, "Good, thanks. You?" That's enough.
Exactly. A lot of learners overthink it, but native speakers usually keep it short because everyone's working.
Let's show a simple example. I'll start. "Morning, Sarah. How's everything?"
Hey, Leo. All good. Just getting started. You?
"Pretty good. Just finishing a few things." That's it. Natural, short, normal.
Another common type of workplace English is checking progress. People don't say, "Please report your current status to me," which sounds very robotic. They say things like, "How's it going with that?" or "Any progress?"
Yes, and even softer versions like, "How's that coming along?" or "Did you get a chance to look at it?" Those sound really polite.
Let's practice one of those. Leo, how's the project coming along?
It's going well. I made some progress this morning. See? No complicated language at all.
And that works in so many situations. You can use it for projects, tasks, emails, anything.
Another thing people don't talk about enough is how native speakers ask for clarification. They don't say, "I do not comprehend your statement." They say things like, "Sorry, what do you mean?" or "Can you explain that a bit?" or "I'm not following."
Yes, I love that phrase, "I'm not following." It's direct but polite. It tells the other person you're lost, but not in a rude way.
And they say it without feeling embarrassed. Everyone gets confused sometimes, even native speakers.
Let's practice that. Leo, I'll say something intentionally confusing, and you ask for clarification. So the third module has to sync with the timeline before we finalize the draft metrics.
"Sorry, I'm not following. Can you explain it again?" Perfect example.
And then I respond naturally. "Sure, I just mean we need to check the schedule before we finish the report." Simple, clear, friendly.
Another huge part of workplace English is giving updates. Native speakers use certain patterns for this, like "so far," "at the moment," "right now," "almost done." These are super common.
Yes, when someone asks, "How's it going?" you don't need a long explanation. You can say, "So far, so good," or "At the moment, I'm fixing a few things."
Let's model a realistic update moment. "Hey Sarah, quick update. I finished the first section and I'm starting the second."
That's perfect. Now I'll respond the way a coworker might. "Great, thanks for the update. Let me know if you need anything."
That phrase, "let me know if you need anything," is everywhere in workplace English. They say it constantly.
Yes, and it sounds supportive and friendly. It's a nice way to end a conversation at work.
We should also talk about how native speakers suggest ideas. They don't say, "This is my suggestion." Instead, they soften the idea to sound more collaborative.
Yes, they say things like, "What if we try?" or "Maybe we could." "I wonder if." Another option is, these make the idea sound flexible, not forced.
Let's do an example. What if we move the meeting to the afternoon? That sounds very natural.
Or maybe we could simplify the template so it's easier to use.
Notice the tone, soft, friendly, open.
Another workplace skill is responding when you don't agree. Native speakers don't usually say, "No, that's wrong." They use softer language to keep the atmosphere positive.
Right, they say things like, "I see what you mean, but I'm not sure that would work because," or "Maybe we could look at another option." These are polite ways to disagree.
Let's show an example. Leo, say an idea and I'll disagree politely.
Maybe we should send the report today.
I see what you mean, but I think we should double check a few things first. See? No conflict, just a calm answer.
That's exactly how native speakers keep workplace conversations smooth and positive.
We should also talk about how native speakers praise each other. They say small things in casual ways. They don't say, "You performed excellently." They say, "Nice job," or "Good work," or "That looks great."
Yes, and these small compliments help create a good team environment. Even tiny compliments matter. Thanks for handling that. Appreciate it. Great work on that part.
Let's show an example. "Nice job on the presentation, Leo."
Thanks, Sarah. You helped a lot. Natural, simple workplace appreciation.
Another important area is confirming details. Native speakers confirm things by repeating them back in a short way. "So that's tomorrow, right? Just to confirm we need it by noon? Okay, so we're meeting at 10?
These are super useful. Let's do a quick example. So just to confirm, you'll send the file after lunch?
Yeah, exactly. I'll send it right after.
Clear and natural.
See? No complicated sentences needed. Workplace English is more about clarity than fancy words. We're going to explore even more workplace phrases and real situations in the next part. You know what's interesting, Leo? A lot of listeners tell us they feel confident in normal English conversations, but the moment they step into a workplace, everything feels different. They suddenly feel pressure, they overthink grammar, and they stop sounding natural.
That's so true. The workplace has its own rhythm. People speak faster, sentences become shorter, and everyone uses subtle phrases that aren't in textbooks. And when learners don't know these expressions, they think their English is bad, even though it's not. They just need the right tools.
Exactly. For example, something super basic. When coworkers arrive, they don't usually say full sentences like, "Hello, how are you today?" They go more casual, like, "Morning," or "Hey, how's it going?" And the tone is light, like you're just checking in, not starting a deep conversation.
Right, and at work, people love micro conversations, short, quick exchanges that build connection. Like if someone is making coffee, you might say, "Long day already?" or "You surviving today?" It's casual bonding, and it makes you sound really natural.
And I think learners often avoid these small interactions because they're worried about making mistakes. But actually, these tiny moments make the biggest difference in how fluent you seem. Native speakers don't focus on perfect grammar, they focus on sounding comfortable.
Another big one is how people respond when they're busy. If someone needs a moment, they don't say, "Please wait, I am doing something important." They say, "Give me a sec," or "One moment," or "Let me wrap this up." It's friendly, but still professional.
And when you don't understand something, nobody uses textbook lines like, "Could you repeat that, please?" They go for more natural phrases like, "Sorry, what was that?" Or, "Can you say that again?" Or, "I missed that last part." These sound more human and less robotic.
And people also soften their sentences. Like instead of saying, "Send me that report," they'll say, "Could you send me that report when you get a minute?" Or, "Do you mind sending that over?" The request stays polite, but it also feels easygoing.
And that's the secret, right? The workplace uses polite English, but not formal English. It's friendly professionalism, not strict, not stiff, and definitely not textbook-like.
Totally. And let's talk about something important, how native speakers disagree at work. People think disagreements must be very direct, but actually natives soften them a lot. For example, instead of saying, "I disagree," they'll say, "I'm not sure about that," or "I see your point, but maybe we could try something else."
Yes, those little softening phrases are essential. Another one is, "I think there might be a better way," or "What if we look at it from a different angle?" You're still disagreeing, but you're doing it politely, which keeps the professional atmosphere calm.
And when giving opinions in meetings, natives don't talk in long, complex sentences. They start with easy frames like, "I feel like," or "I was thinking," or "Maybe we could." Simple, natural, and clear.
My favorite is, "I'm wondering if." It's perfect when you want to introduce an idea without sounding pushy, like, "I'm wondering if we could adjust the schedule." Very soft, very professional.
And it shows confidence too, because confident speakers don't try to sound complicated. They try to sound understandable.
Exactly. And you know another thing natives do? They react a lot during conversations. Little sounds like, yeah, right, totally, got it, makes sense. Oh, wow, really? These tiny reactions make conversations flow smoothly.
Yes, if you say nothing while someone is talking, it feels cold. But if you react naturally, you sound engaged and connected. It's a huge part of workplace communication.
And there's a hidden secret. In offices, tone matters more than vocabulary. You can say something very simple, but if your tone is warm and confident, you sound like a native speaker.
Tone is everything. For example, if you say, okay, in a flat voice, it sounds cold. But if you say it warmly, okay, sounds good. People instantly feel comfortable around you.
Speaking of tone, one thing learners sometimes struggle with is how native speakers show enthusiasm at work. They use quick, upbeat responses like perfect, or awesome, or great, thanks. These short reactions make you look positive and easy to work with.
And being easy to work with is actually just good communication. Not fancy vocabulary, not complicated sentences, just human, natural English.
You know, Leo, another thing I've noticed is how native speakers communicate in emails. Students always think workplace emails must be extremely formal, but honestly, most emails are friendly and simple.
Exactly. People imagine long, formal sentences like, "Dear Sir, I am writing to inform you," but that's not how most office emails sound today. Natives write things like, "Hi Jake, just checking in," or "Quick question," or "Here's the update." Very short and direct.
And even when they're being polite, they use soft phrases instead of heavy, formal language. For example, they don't say, "I require this document by tomorrow." They say, "Could you send me that by tomorrow?" Or, "Can you get this to me when you can?" Friendly, respectful, and natural.
And they love adding little warm lines at the end like, "Thanks so much," or "Appreciated," or "Let me know if you need anything." These closing lines make emails feel human, not robotic.
Also, native speakers rarely write perfect textbook grammar in emails. They use contractions all the time. I'll, we're, that's, it's. Without contractions, you sound too formal or stiff.
And that's a big difference. Workplace English is polite, but relaxed. It's not about perfect grammar, it's about clear communication and a friendly tone.
Speaking of tone, let's talk about how native speakers show urgency without sounding rude. For example, if something is needed quickly, they won't say, "Do this immediately." They'll say, "Any chance you could send this over today?" Or, "Can we get this done as soon as possible?" It's urgent, but polite.
Exactly. And sometimes they use softeners like just and a bit. Like, "I just need a bit more information," or "I'm just checking if the file is ready." These tiny words make you sound gentle and friendly.
And when natives need to push back on something, for example, if they have too much work, they'll say things like, "I might need more time on this," or "My plate's pretty full right now," or "Can we move this to tomorrow?" Simple, clear, respectful.
And I think learners worry too much about sounding rude, but native speakers don't use complicated, polite structures. They simply add soft tone and gentle phrases.
Another huge part of workplace communication is teamwork language. Phrases like, "Let's figure this out together," or "How can I help?" or "Let me take a look." These show cooperation and make people feel supported.
And when someone helps you, natives don't just say thank you. They often add warm reactions like, "You're amazing," or "That really helps," or "Thanks, I appreciate it." It creates positive energy in the office.
Yes, and positive energy is everything. Even when someone makes a mistake, natives try to stay calm. They'll say things like, "No worries, we'll fix it," or "Let's sort this out together," or "It happens." That supportive language keeps the workplace healthy.
And that's another cultural point. In many English-speaking workplaces, mistakes are seen as normal. People don't attack each other. They look for solutions. Communication is more about moving forward than blaming.
And learners often feel nervous about speaking up because they don't want to sound wrong. But honestly, most workplaces prefer people who communicate openly, even if their English isn't perfect.
Absolutely. Confidence matters more than accuracy. If you speak clearly, calmly, and with a friendly tone, people will enjoy communicating with you.
And let's talk about meetings. Learners usually imagine meetings as formal events with serious grammar, but real meetings are conversational. People interrupt politely, jump in, react, laugh. It's very dynamic.
Yes, and natives often use small phrases to join the conversation. Things like, can I jump in? Or quick thought? Or if I can add something. These little expressions help you participate naturally.
And when they agree with someone, they react fast. Exactly, totally, right. Yeah, that's true. Good point. These short reactions keep the meeting lively.
And even when they disagree, they soften it. Like, I'm not sure about that. Or maybe we can look at it another way. Or I think we might need to reconsider that part. The goal isn't to win, the goal is to move forward as a team.
And when someone explains something that isn't clear, natives don't pretend to understand. They ask directly, but politely, "Can you walk me through that?" Or, "What do you mean exactly?" Or, "I'm not following. Can you explain a bit more?"
That one, "I'm not following," is very natural. It doesn't sound like you're blaming anyone, it's just honest communication.
And honesty is respected. English-speaking workplace culture values clear communication over pretending. People would rather you clarify than stay silent.
And that's something learners can really benefit from. Clarity is more important than perfection.
You know what else creates a big difference at work? The way native speakers use humor. Not big jokes, just tiny, light comments that make conversations friendly. Like if someone looks tired, a coworker might say, "Long night?" or "Need another coffee?" It's not serious humor, it's just warm communication.
Exactly. And these little moments make the workplace feel human. English speakers use humor to connect, not to be funny. Even something like, "I think my brain isn't awake yet," or "I need 5 more hours of sleep," becomes a soft way of saying, "I'm tired."
And it helps people relax. When you have friendly mini humor, the conversation feels more natural. It breaks the tension. Learners often think humor means telling jokes, but most of the time it's just playful comments that make everyone feel comfortable.
And sometimes it's also about shared pain. Like when work is busy, someone might say, "I'm drowning today," or "Why is everything happening at once?" They don't mean it literally, it's just a way to express stress in a light tone.
Exactly. And it also helps coworkers bond. When you react with, "I feel you," or "Same here," it creates connection. Small expressions like these make you sound friendly and relatable.
Another interesting thing is how native speakers use body language at work. They nod constantly while listening. They smile politely. They use their hands when explaining. This physical communication makes their words feel more alive.
And learners sometimes worry they have to speak perfectly. But honestly, body language can make your English look much stronger. If you nod, smile, and show you're engaged, people already feel like you're confident and fluent.
There's also something important about pacing. Native speakers often pause, restart sentences, and change their mind mid-sentence. They break thoughts into pieces instead of speaking in long, perfect lines.
Yes, like, "So I was thinking maybe we could try a different approach," or "Actually, maybe we keep it simple." This is so natural. Learners think they must avoid pauses, but pauses make your speech sound authentic.
And natives don't worry about small mistakes. If they say the wrong word, they just correct themselves instantly. Like, "Send me that file." "Sorry, I mean the updated version." They don't panic, they keep going.
And that's key. Fluent speakers don't speak perfectly, they speak comfortably. That's the difference.
And let's talk about how natives manage workplace stress through language. If things get hectic, they say stuff like, "Let's take a breath," or "One thing at a time," or "We'll figure it out." These calming phrases keep the environment positive.
And when someone is overwhelmed, coworkers might say, "Need a hand?" or "Want me to help with that?" Supportive language creates a team atmosphere.
And if someone thanks you, natives respond warmly. "Of course, anytime, no problem, happy to help." These small responses make interactions soft and friendly.
You know, another thing learners find confusing is casual workplace conversations, like those quick chats before meetings start. Natives talk about weather, weekend plans, or even random things like what they ate. It's not deep conversation, it's just social glue.
Right. Someone might say, "How was your weekend?" And the answer doesn't need to be long. Something simple like, "Pretty good, just relaxed," works perfectly. You're not writing an essay, you're just connecting.
And even when people don't want to talk much, they still keep it friendly. For example, if someone is tired, they might say, "I'm running on low battery today." And people will respond with, "Same, I get that," or hang in there. It's all about emotional support.
And when coworkers celebrate something, like finishing a task, natives use short praise expressions. Nice work. Looks great. Awesome job. You nailed it. These mini compliments help build confidence.
And people appreciate it so much. Positive language is a powerful tool at work.
Another thing learners can practice is showing curiosity. Asking small questions like, how does this work? Or can you show me that? Or what's the plan here? It makes you look involved.
And involvement is more important than advanced vocabulary. If you show interest, people instantly see you as a team player.
And finally, there's the way natives close conversations. They don't just walk away. They end smoothly with phrases like, all right, sounds good, or great, thanks for the update, or catch you later. These polite endings make communication complete.
And these endings help listeners feel like the conversation reached a natural finish. It prevents awkwardness and keeps interactions clear. So Leo, before we wrap up, I think it's worth talking about something that surprises almost every learner. Native speakers don't talk like robots at work. Their communication is messy, relaxed, full of small mistakes, and filled with these tiny expressions we've been talking about.
Yes, and the more learners realize this, the faster they become confident. Workplace English isn't about knowing big words. It's about sounding human. It's about sounding approachable, calm, and comfortable with your coworkers.
Exactly. If you can smile, react, keep your tone warm, and use simple, natural phrases, people will immediately feel that you're easy to communicate with. And honestly, that matters way more than perfect grammar.
And communication at work is really just teamwork. Everyone wants to be understood quickly, nobody wants complicated sentences, and everyone appreciates polite, simple language. It's the foundation of a smooth workplace.
And if you think about everything we covered, small talk, reactions, softening phrases, polite disagreements, friendly emails, supportive comments, it all leads to the same goal, making communication clear and comfortable.
And once learners start using these small tools, everything changes. They speak more naturally, their coworkers respond better, and suddenly they feel like they belong in the team.
It's also important to remember that fluency doesn't mean speaking fast. It means speaking confidently. It means expressing yourself without fear, even if your sentence isn't perfect.
And that comfort grows with practice. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. The more you interact with coworkers, the more you sound like them. That's how real improvement happens.
And hopefully, this episode has given everyone a clear picture of how native speakers actually communicate at work. Not the textbook version, but the real version.
And if you're listening right now, just remember, you don't need to sound perfect. You need to sound real, friendly, clear. That's what makes you successful in a workplace environment.
Exactly. And keep practicing with us. Every episode is designed to make your English more natural and more confident, step by step.
And we love that you're here with us on this learning journey. You're improving every time you listen, you're understanding more than you think, and you're becoming a better communicator.
All right, I think this is a good place to end today's conversation. But don't worry, we've got more episodes coming with real conversations, real examples, and real English you can use every day.
So stay with us, keep practicing, and don't forget, the more you speak, the better you get.
Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you in the next episode.
See you next time.